Hi, and welcome to an overview of Enable Professional Services Command Center. Command Center allows ServiceNow partners, developers, and administrators to manage a fleet of ServiceNow instances. It removes the overhead of having to log on to tens of instances to perform high-volume, low-touch updates. Typically, a partner would log onto instances and then develop directly, retrieve update sets, or even install a custom application from the store to execute code or admin utility. This all creates overhead, wait time, and specific code management for what we would perceive a utility action. In order to remove this overhead of managing large fleets of instances, we have developed Command Center, a solution with near zero technical footprint to execute utility code and manage the fleet from a single point. Within the Command Center portal, we can view a list of instances that make up that fleet. This is a high integration for that partner. You can view health and diagnostics information for each node, understand the configuration, mid-service status, memory status and history, and delve a little deeper into the performance information of that instance. We can also view other results based on the utilities that are available. We can select our instances, select what we would like to compare, and then compare the record, table, or instance. Notice we haven't had to log into any instances as yet. This is all managed from a single point. If we want to deploy a utility, we have a deployment section. We can select our utility and our instances, and then we can deploy to a single or all instances within that fleet. So how does this work behind the scenes? The first step is we have a high integration where we can retrieve all the instances that that partner is responsible for. We can then access the Command Center records, which will link to any number of utilities that we'd like to deploy and execute. We can execute usage and license management, diagnostics and health checks, comparison utilities to compare records, tables, and instance configuration. We can deploy update sets and execute them on the fly. We can review domain separation health. We can even deploy automated test framework test suites and execute on the fly as well. This is all done remotely from Command Center. One of the things Command Center can do quite effectively is deploy update sets and also deploy automated test framework suites, test suites, and execute on the fly. First up, we'll have a look at the deploy update set Command Center record. We have a few options when selecting this. First, we select the deploy update set utility from the service utility field. We name our Command Center record, short description, and then we select the update set we want to deploy. For this one, we've got some catalog items with the service catalog that we're going to deploy to this instance. We can schedule the deployment. We can select what instances we want to deploy it to. Once we've selected the update set, we can select or toggle to review and commit accept or commit skip. In this case, we're going to commit accept, which will commit the whole update set. This is a tried and tested update set that we've tested on other test instances and have no problem with. Let's go ahead, update and deploy to this instance. Once that's updated and deployed, we'll go over to the target instance and have a look. Here we've got our update set that has been copied across. Now this was pushed across from our origin instance. And here you can see it's being committed. We've got access to the customer updates, and any errors or conflicts that may have arisen will also be sent back to our origin instance for reporting. So this is great. We've got our instances, we've got our catalog items all deployed remotely. Very low touch. Let's head back and have a look at the automated test framework example. The automated test framework deployment builds on the update set deployment functionality. You can actually select the update set you want to deploy, which has our test suite logic in there. And this is because we built our automated test framework test suite. We've captured it in an update set and we can deploy that to any instance. But then we've got an additional option we can actually go and execute the test once that update set has been deployed. So we can select yes, we want to execute the test, and then we can go and select the test suite we want to execute. The test suite in this case is just a simple property check. So let's go and run that now. Awesome. Let's go over to our target instance. We're going to head to our automated test suite area. So here's our Command Center property check test suite. We've got our test suite tests. Now this is actually executing at the moment because we said we want to execute it on the fly. We haven't got our test results yet, but we'll come back in a minute and check those. While that's executing, we can see that we've got the ATF check property test suite. We've got the record validation here. You can see it has actually run, it just hasn't propagated yet. And we've got a successful check. Let's go back to the test suite. Awesome, we've got our propagated test suite result, all success. Now what happens is these results actually get returned to our origin instance. And if we go check out the ATF results table, we can view the JSON results of that whole test suite. Now we're going to do a lot more with this information in terms of how we present it, but you can see we've got all that data on the origin instance, and we're going to present that really nicely through our Command Center portal. I hope that gives you a good summary and a little bit of detail, a little bit of a drill down on how the update set deployment and the automated test framework suite is deployed and executed in flight. In this case, we'll delve a little deeper into our domain separation results to help understand what we can do. Domain separation, whilst very powerful, but can become quite unmanageable as domains are set up. This allows us to target the makeup of the domain separation configuration within an instance. We can quickly understand and target areas for improvement based on the results returned. We can understand how many domains are in play, how many tiers and complexity. We can recognize circular domains, which has a huge impact on performance. We can understand across the user, company and CI tables what domains are not used, and engineers can target for cleanup. Likewise, we can drill down into the health and diagnostics results. For each node and instance, we're returned a record, and we have access to all that information from a single point. We can easily create a new Command Center record that can be reused and scheduled at any time. If we'd like to do a diagnostic check, we can reuse that Command Center record, schedule at any point, deploy to any number of instances within the one submission. If we wanted to execute any of these utilities, we can select them. When we deploy update sets, we can commit on the fly, or we can just submit a review. Likewise, with our test suites, we can select the test suites we want to deploy and then execute once they're installed. Those test results are then returned to Command Center for us to be able to view. I hope you've enjoyed a quick overview of Command Center. I hope to speak shortly around what this can do for you. Thank you.